Hello and welcome to the first Angels and Demons progress update video. If you're only interested in specific parts of this video, I have timestamps listed in the description, so check those out. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about a few different things. I want to talk about feedback, graphics updates, World 2 development, quality of life changes, new modes, and Twitch streaming. So the first point I'm going to talk about is feedback. I've received a lot of very good feedback and criticism on the trailer for the Angels and Demons 2022 demo and on the game's itch.io page, as well as from my Discord server. One area that faced a lot of criticism was actually the art style of the characters, and looking back on it, I definitely see it. Compared to my new sprites that I've been working on, you can see those on screen now, the old art style looked very crunchy, for lack of a better term. Hard black outlines on all the characters and every single limb just doesn't really look that great. So the new art style is a lot more cartoony. I've updated the characters' text box dialogue portraits, and everything follows a more consistent visual style. I've also worked on the scaling a little bit. Like, you'll notice Yui's character portraits, her old ones made her look massive when compared to the player, despite them being around the same height and size. So all of these were much needed changes. The next point I want to talk about is World 2. And World 2's development is technically going pretty smoothly. Everything in the storyline document that I have is relatively planned out as much as it needs to be. Only thing that might need to be adjusted is a little bit of the smaller fine details to fit into the greater story. But to give you a little bit of an overview of what to expect, World 2 is going to be the Sin of Wrath. You'll have to seek out the Rune of Patience. And the area for World 2 will be a kingdom, and it's going to be a lot less linear than World 1 was. In World 1 is like you start at the west side of the desert and you have to go to the far east side, and but World 2 is going to be a lot less linear. You'll start in the center of the world, and there will be different things you will have to do on each side of World 2 to gain access to the area that the Rune of Patience is being held. So this non-linear approach for World 2 allows you to pick which side of the kingdom you would prefer to tackle first. So you can go to the west side, which is currently planned as a forest, or you can go to the east side, which is more of a mountainous area. Overall, I'm really excited to get to start working on World 2. I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun, especially with the whole non-linear approach style. I feel like it'll allow for a lot of creativity for speedrunners and a little bit more freedom from, the linear style that the game has followed up to this point. So the next point I want to talk about is quality of life changes. And just to kind of preface this a little bit, the only reason that WASD controls exist is because of a very weird keyboard manufacturing issue that I encountered in early testing, and that's that on certain keyboards you can't use the up arrow, left arrow, and spacebar at the same time, or at least combinations of certain keys. And this is typically just due to the way a keyboard is wired. This could be a company, cutting corners to save a little bit of money, because realistically, how many people are going to be holding Z, spacebar, up and left at the same time? It makes sense from a manufacturing perspective, but in my case, it makes me have to do other control schemes. So WASD was kind of a set it and forget it thing, and that's pretty much what I did. Is I set all the controls as they should have been, and then pretty much forgot about it because I use the arrow keys for most of my testing. But my playtesters that I had, one complaint that I got was that the menu controls were just unintuitive, because the way my menus work is they just take the set jump button and the set run button, and that's what they use to progress menus and regress them respectively. So on WASD, spacebar and shift to go forward and backwards menus just doesn't really seem right. So I'm going to be changing that to have their own dedicated buttons. So for WASD, it might be spacebar to select, but instead of shift to go back, it might be escape or backspace or something like that. Testing will show what works best, and I'll get feedback from people who do use WASD as their main control scheme and see where to go from there. The next point I want to talk about is online multiplayer. So I've been developing a server application to go alongside the game that'll allow you to host your own online multiplayer games in Angels and Demons. So right now I have 3 different modes planned: a co-op mode, a versus mode, and a hide and seek mode. And the details for all these are still a little bit unfinished, so I don't want to share too much about it yet, but judging off the names, you can probably guess what they'll be like. So that about wraps up this video. If you're interested in seeing the development process, I stream live on Twitch. Otherwise, if watching live isn't your thing, I post teasers and update progress inside the Angels and Demons Discord. You can find links to both of those in the description of this video. If you have any feedback on this type of video format, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm open to suggestions, as this is kind of the first time I've ever done a update video like this. So if there's anything that you think I should do differently that would make the quality of these better, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Finally, if you have any type of feedback for Angels and Demons, let me know via itch.io on the game's download page, or via the Angels and Demons Discord or Discord DMs. So with that being said, thank you for following the development of Angels and Demons, and I will see you guys in the next video.